So I did my presentation on interpersonal relationships on the show Stranger Things. Um, what is Stranger Things? Stranger Things is a show about a scientist making a demogorgon and a group of kids trying to defeat it. There are multiple relationships in this show, but the one that stood out to me the most um, was between the scientist and Eleven. Some background on the characters. Eleven, she's a test object for the scientist. The scientist has made a demogorgon and he can't control it no more, so he uses Eleven's powers to try to control this monster. I included a picture of Eleven and the scientist and the demogorgon. This relationship really stood out to me because compared to the rest of the cast, they're all the same age as Eleven, so it would make sense for them to, um, talk with each other and just, have build a relationship. But between these two, it stood out to me because they seem like two different types of people. So gender plays a big role in this relationship because Eleven, being a little girl, she can be dominated very easily, and the scientist, being a grown man, makes it easier for him to take control. So I say this because in my research, I found this researcher named Mate. She concludes that males feel dominated when interrupting, and that's honestly the relationship that Eleven and this scientist has. So yeah. Self concept is another thing. Eleven having little introduction to the world, she doesn't understand self concept. The scientist having an understanding of self concept, he should know better. And the definition of self concept is an idea of self constructed from the beliefs one holds about oneself and the responses of others. Ethics. Ethics is important in general for everyone's day-to-day life. Just it honestly it comes down to your decisions that you make. You base it off ethics, like what's wrong, what's right. So the scientist should know not to treat a human like an object. It's not okay. I just included a picture of, well, I included two pictures of Eleven, being a test subject and, putting her powers to the test. Nonverbal communication is also another thing that plays a big role in this relationship. Eleven doesn't have strong verbal skills, so she resorts to nonverbal communication. And when she does communicate her thoughts slash emotions, they are disregarded by the scientist. And here I included the bottom picture. It's the scientist in the background just ignoring Eleven, screaming for him. He, you see him just not paying attention to her and what, she's trying to yell for him. And yeah. So, identity is the last concept that I focus on. The definition of identity is the fact of being who or what a person or thing is. Eleven, not having exposure to the real world other than the lab, she doesn't really know her identity. This can affect the relationship because Eleven can easily be brainwashed and not knowing her morals. And I think morals is something that everyone can relate to, just having a base to live by, and Eleven doesn't have that base. In conclusion, gender, self concept, ethics, nonverbal communication, and identity play a role in this relationship. This isn't a good relationship, it lacks many things. It goes to show how important it represents these factors in a positive way to build relationships. In a study that I found, it shows how important it is to have communication between a child and its parent. I bring this up because Eleven sees the scientist as a father figure, but doesn't have proper communication with him, and you can see how this affects her in this relationship and future ones.